Welcome to Sunday School. Today we're going to talk briefly about the Wheel of Fortune card because we're reading from the appendix of the Book of Thoth where it discusses or has further excerpts of Crowley visionary material relating to, I think it's 5 of the tarot trumps. And today we're going to read what Crowley wanted us to have further meditations on concerning the Wheel of Fortune. Now, this is the Wheel of Fortune from the Thoth Tarot, and we see characters on the wheel here. At the top is the Sphinx. And over here, that sort of monkey-looking character, that's Hermanubis. Okay, Hermes and Mercury, okay. And that crocodile there with the big smile is Typhon. Now, alchemically, the Sphinx there at the top would be salt, Typhon would be sulfur, and Hermanubis naturally is Mercury. And they correspond with Hindu philosophy and iconography with the 3 gunas, Rajas, Tattvas, Samas, okay? And Rajas, Sattvas, Tamas, okay? And they're constantly in motion. The gunas revolve, and so do those alchemical. And the Sphinx is on top of the Wheel of Fortune here at the moment. It's a snapshot of a continually turning thing. But the real live star of the show is the center of the wheel, which is unmoved. And you'll notice that that's on the Thoth Tarot. You see that triangle? It's the center of the triangle too. So, in the rite of Jupiter, the 3 officers, the altar, if you will, or the center of the stage, is a scene from the Wheel of Fortune. And to stage it, it has to be, it looks sort of like a circular area in the center of the stage. And it will have to be veiled and unveiled in certain sections of the ceremony. So it looks like a conical tent that you can open and close. And the 3 characters are perched in their position on the wheel, and they're the officers, if you will, of the rite of Jupiter. And briefly, before I read from that appendix, which comes from the Vision and the Voice, 4th Aether, I want to share this opening here of the Wheel of Fortune because it makes a lot of sense. It's pertinent. Okay, the officers are Kentrim and Kentri Trigono, which is the Jupiter himself, or the hub of the wheel, okay? But then there's the Sphinx, who knocks, and then Hermanubis, who knocks, and then Typhon, who knocks. Typhon says, "Hail unto thee, thou great god Hermanubis! Art thou not the messenger of the gods?" "Hail unto thee, great god! Thou great god Typhon, art thou not the executor of his vengeance?" And Typhon says, "Brother Hermanubis, what is the hour?" "Noon, brother Typhon, what is the place?" "The summit of Mount Olympus." "Brother Hermanubis, what is thy position on the wheel?" "Upon the rim of the wheel." "And thine?" "Upon the rim of the wheel." let us seek the center of the wheel. And in the ceremony, Hermanubis and Typhon start to circulate around the rim of the wheel, and they go faster and faster, and they trip on each other's toga, and it's kind of a bit of comic relief, if you will. And they stand exhausted, but they get no closer to the center of the wheel. It says, "Brother Hermanubis, we are no nearer to the center of the wheel." "Oh," and Hermanubis answers, "Well, we're no nearer the center of the wheel. Hast thou no message from the gods?" "None, brother." "Let us seek an oracle of the gods." And they get together and they go to the Sphinx, who has a sword. And for many years and for many times we did this, St. Constance was this officer who played the Sphinx. They rise and go around the rim, stopping, prostrating themselves before the Sphinx. "Hail unto thee, that hast the secret of Jupiter. Declare unto us, we beseech thee, the mysteries whereby we may approach the center of the wheel." And after a musical interlude, the Sphinx says, "Neither by sloth nor by activity." Okay, sloth would be salt. Okay. "Neither by sloth nor activity or peace." Sloth, well, I'd guess we'd say Hermanubis was, or Typhon was sloth, Hermanubis activity, and the Sphinx would be peace. So she's talking about the officers here. "Neither by sloth nor by activity may even my secret be attained, neither by emotion," Typhon, "or by reason," Hermanubis, "may even I be understood. How then should ye come to the center of the wheel?" And Hermanubis says, "Mother of mystery, what is thy position on Olympus?" And she says, "On the rim of the wheel." And then the officer in the center playing the hub, Kentrim and Kentri Trigono, starts to say, "Feeling, thought, and ecstasy." Okay. Feeling, thought, ecstasy. Feeling, thought, and ecstasy are but the cerements of me, thrown off like planets from the sun. Ye are but satellites of the one. But should your revolution stop, ye would inevitably drop headlong into the central soul, and all the parts become the whole. Sloth, activity, and peace, when will ye learn that ye must cease? How should I, Typhon says, how should I cease from lethargy? And Hermanubis says, how should I quench activity? And the Sphinx says, how should I give up ecstasy? And the CICT says, what shines upon your forehead? And they say, the eye within the triangle. What burns upon your breast? He asks. They all answer together, the rosy cross. So they identify themselves as initiates. And CICT says, brethren of the rosy cross, aspirants to the silver star, not until these are ended, that's feeling, thought, and ecstasy, not until these are ended can ye come to the center of the wheel. And then he delivers a wonderful, wonderful poem. But I'm not going to take up our time this morning with the rest of that, because I want us to now hear what Crowley has to say when he scried the Enochian fourth aether. That's fourth from the top. It's a really high level of consciousness. And it's kind of funny because the highest level of consciousness before the abyss is number 4 on the tree of life, and the number 4 is the sphere of Jupiter. So this is Crowley's vision of the fourth aether of the Enochian heavens. Rota, the wheel. There cometh a peacock into the stone, filling the whole air. It is like the vision called the universal peacock, or rather, like a representation of that vision. And now there are countless clouds of white angels filling the air as the peacock dissolves. Now behind the angels are archangels with trumpets. These cause all things to appear at once, so that there's a tremendous confusion of images. And now I perceive that all these things are but veils of the wheel. For they all gather themselves together into a wheel that spins with incredible velocity. It hath many colors, but all are thrilled with white light, so that they are transparent and luminous. This one wheel is 49 wheels, set at different angles so that they compose a sphere. Each wheel has 49 spokes and has 49 concentric tires at equal distance from the center. And wherever the rays of any two wheels meet, there is a blinding flash of glory. It must be understood that though so much detail is visible in the wheel, yet at the same time the impression is of a single simple object. It seems that this wheel is being spun by a hand. Now hang on just a second here. And in Lady Frida's drawing of the wheel, do you see the hand there at the very bottom above the head of Typhon? And it's sort of in a fist. Now the letter Kaf means fist too, or hand, clenched hand. Okay, where was I? It seems that this wheel is being spun by a hand. Though the wheel fills the whole air, yet the hand is much bigger than the wheel. And though this vision is so great and splendid, yet there is no seriousness with it, or solemnity. It seems that the hand is spinning the wheel merely for pleasure. It would be better to say amusement. A voice comes. For he is a jocund and ruddy God, and his laughter is the vibration of all that exists, and the earthquakes of the soul. One is conscious of the whirling of the wheel, thrilling one like an electric charge passing through one. Now I see the figures on the wheel, which have been interpreted as the sordid Sphinx, Hermanubis, and Typhon. And that is wrong. The rim of the wheel is a vivid emerald snake, and in the center of the wheel is a scarlet heart and it's impossible to explain as it is. The scarlet of the heart and the green of the snake are yet more vivid than the blinding white brilliance of the wheel. The figures on the wheel are darker than the wheel itself. In fact, they're stains upon the purity of the wheel, and for that reason, and because of the whirling of the wheel, I cannot see them. But at the top seems to be the lamb and flag. Okay, now remember we've got a Sphinx there on the top of most images, and she's got a sword. But in this vision, she is turned to the lamb with the flag. It's a Christian symbol of Jesus. Let's see. Let's see here. The figures. But at the top seems to be the lamb and flag, such as one sees on some Christian medals. And one on the lower of things, another character, much brighter, is a wolf, and the other is a raven. The lamb and flag symbol is much brighter than the other two. It keeps on growing brighter until it now is brighter than the wheel itself, and it occupies more space than it did. So now the three characters of the wheel are that lamb with the flag, a wolf, and a raven. Okay, the lamb speaks. I am the greatest of deceivers, for my purity and innocence shall seduce the pure and the innocent. Who but for me should come to the center of the wheel? The wolf betrayeth only the greedy and the treacherous. The raven betrayeth only the melancholy and the dishonest. But I am he whom it is written, he shall deceive the very elect. For in the beginning, the Father of all called for lying spirits, that they might sift the creatures of the earth in 3 sieves according to the 3 impure souls. And he chose the wolf for the lust of the flesh, and the raven for the lust of the mind. But me did he choose above all to simulate the pure prompting of the soul. Them that are fallen prey to the wolf and the raven I have not scathed, but them that have rejected me I have given over to the wrath of the raven and the wolf. And the jaws of one of them, and the jaws of the one have torn them, and the beak of the other has devoured the corpse. Therefore is my flag white, because I have left nothing upon the earth alive. I have feasted myself on the blood of the saints, but I am not suspected of men to be their enemy. For my fleece is white and warm, and my teeth are not the teeth that teareth flesh, and my eyes are mild, and they know me not as the chief of the lying spirits that the Father of all sent forth before his face in the beginning. Wow. I'm going to check my sound volume here, if you don't mind, just for a second. Hang on. Okay, I think we're okay. I would have hated if you had not heard that last thing. Okay, now this is parenthetical, so it's Crowley commenting on the vision here. His attribution is salt. The wolf is mercury, and the raven, sulfur. Now back to the vision. Now the lamb grows small again. There is again nothing but the wheel and the hand which whirleth it. And I said, by the word of power, double in the voice of the Master, by the word that is 7 and 1 in 7, and by the great terrible word 210. I beseech thee, O my Lord, to grant me the vision of glory. And all the rays of the wheel stream out at me, and I'm blasted and blinded with the light. I am caught up into the wheel, and I am one with the wheel, and I am greater than the wheel. In the midst of a myriad lightnings I stand and behold his face. I'm thrown violently back onto the earth every second so that I cannot quite concentrate. All one gets is a liquid flame of pale gold, but its radiant force keeps hurling me back. And I say, by the word and the will, by the penance and the prayer, let me behold thy face. I cannot explain this. There is a confusion of personalities, he says parenthetically. Back to the vision. I who speak to you see what I tell you, but I who see him cannot communicate it to me who speak to you. That's because in a vision, a million things can happen at once, and you're both the voice and you're the ear, the audience and the actor. But I digress. If one gaze upon the sun at noon, that might be like the substance of him, but the light is without heat. It is the vision of Ut in the Upanishads. And from this vision have come all the legends of Bacchus and Krishna and Adonis. For the impression is of a youth dancing and making music. But you must understand that he is not doing that, for he is still. Even the hand that turns the wheel is not his hand, but only a hand energized by him. And now it is the dance of Shiva. I lie beneath his feet, his saint, his victim. My form is the form of the god Ta, and my essence but the form of the god Seb is my form. And this is the reason of existence, that in this dance, which is delight, there must be both God and the adept. And the earth herself is a saint, and the sun and the moon dance upon her, torturing her with delight. And that's Crowley's vision of the fourth aether that he wanted us to meditate upon in considering the mysteries of the Wheel of Fortune card. The number 210 means many things, but the basic Kabbalistic main landmark of the number 210 is the primal Adam. So anyway, that should be Sunday school for today. It's a chilly, rainy day here, and it will be for, I don't know. We got to build an ark. Until tomorrow, continue to be good to yourself, be good to each other. Do what thou wilt shall be the whole of the law. Love is the law, love under will.